What's going on, guys? You just bought your first collection. What do you do now? Do you list everything at once? Do you increase your prices? Do you change your prices at all? How do you do it? What's my process? We're going to talk about that today. What's up, guys? My name is Dylan. I'm with Spark Card Vault, PokeSparks, my YouTube channel here, where I like to talk about the TCG business and what I do on a day-to-day basis and how I'm growing my business. So today's I picked up my largest collection of the channel, and I just wanted to go over it with you guys a little bit. I'm not going to show you every card. It is a lot of cards, but I wanted to explain a few things and how my processes are working and what I'm doing with them, and where I messed up. You know, I basically brought the cards home. I briefly looked through them, kind of found a fake card. I found another card that was damaged and wasn't supposed to be. We'll talk about all that and how I resolved that. The guy that I bought these off of was a real nice guy. He meant the list of one is damaged. It wasn't. And the fake card, he didn't know. He's already planning on meeting me Saturday to make everything right, you know. So no shame to him, no hate towards him. He's doing exactly what he should do, you know, as a seller. So, yeah, guys, let's talk about that real quick. So, I found this collection. I'll pop up. I don't know if I have any pictures of it. I can't pop nothing up for you guys. But, so I met this guy through another deal. It was like a $350 collection I purchased off him. And he had a bigger collection that he was willing to sell, or at least piece out. He wasn't selling the whole thing. So we worked out a deal, and he originally wanted 80%. So, I mean, I talked to him a little bit, and for me and where I'm at with my business and how I want to sell cards and the profits and the margins that I need to meet, 80% wasn't going to work for me, you know? And I know you guys are going to run into this sometimes. You're going to find deals that just don't meet what you expect. You know I want 75% at the most. If it's not, I'm going to walk away, you know, because I know where I need to be to make money. And, you know, I know where my fees percentages are, you know, just an average. So that's what I did. I messaged the guy, and I told him, I was like, hey, look, I know we've already done a deal, and I know we're planning on doing another one, but I was like, I cannot do 80%. And I explained my situation. I told him that on an average of the last month, my fees with shipping is between 17 to 20%. And if I buy a collection at 80, it's just there's not enough profit margin there to really make it worthwhile, you know. Ideally, I would like to be around 70%. 75 would be the most, depending on the cards that I pick, and I'll explain that. So what happened was, he got back to me and said that he understands and that he would have to think about it, which he messaged me back again within an hour and said that he'd like to do a deal with me because the first deal went so well. And that's where he sent me his collector pin, and basically on there he had about $11,000 worth of cards and told me to pick out what I wanted. And I knew I wanted to be around the $2,000 to $2,500 price out of pocket for me. So we settled on a price of 75%. And the reason I was okay with doing 75% was majority of the cards that I purchased are $40 and below. Now, you might wonder why that's a good thing. For me, I sell cards between 15 cents and $20 at 30% above market when I buy a new collection. So when I purchase a new collection and I list every card, I increase my store prices to 30% for 15 cents to $20. From $20 to $50, it's 10%. From $50 and up, it stays at the $5 above just to pay for shipping. Now, because of that, and cards will sell, guys. It'll sell a little bit slower than if you just dumped it all in there for 5%, 10% above market. But at the 30% above market, I have a good margin. You know, you take 75%. We'll just say 20% with the fees And the shipping... Alright, sorry guys, there might be a little bit of an audio change. Forgot to plug my mic in, but thankfully I have my second camera going on my phone so that I can show you some of these cards. So the audio might feel a little different now. So the fee, increasing my price is 30%. Things are going to sell a little slower, and I'm okay with that because I know with my fee percentage of 20, you know, I averaged it out. It's like 17%. I added 3% to cover some of my shipping costs, which is, I'm being very lucrative. So if I say 20%, now I bought this collection at 75, I have 95% cost in, you know, with fees, with the cost of the card, with my shipping. If I sell the card at 130%, I make 35% margins. Now, that's different between every card. I understand that. You know, I'm just averaging it out. I'm just trying to explain to you guys that when you get into the collections, and it has worked for me. You know, I bought one off him, the $350 one, and I did 30% for the first week, and I sold a lot of those cards. And then after a week or after a couple weeks, I bring my prices back down to where my prices usually sit. I always sell Pokemon above market. I do not sell it at market. Typically, I'm 20% to 15% for up to $10, up to $20, 20 and over. I'm 5%, 10%, and then always above 50. I just add the 5 just to cover shipping. That's just how I've been doing my prices, and I get that a lot of people, they preach this, oh, you want to sell this stuff as fast as you can to get that capital back and get it back into the business. And I do agree to that to an extent. You have to make money. You know, if you make 30% margins on half of the cards that I purchased, you know, I spent $2,500. You got half of that is what, $1,250. You make 30%. You're already up $500, $400, something like that. I'm not a mathematician, guys. I just assume that's correct. You know, there's the option to make the money is there. So, that's what I do. That's how I've been doing it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with this. And why I'm so excited for this video is I'm going to show you some of these cards. I'm going to show you some of the cards that I've pulled out of the collection and replaced with some of my personal collection for a reason, and I'll explain that. And I'm going to make another video in a week's time. I'm going to keep track of all these cards that I sell, what I sell them for, and what I've bought them for today. I'm going to add all of these cards into Collector today. You know, that way I know the market price. I just bought it last night. I will know what the market is today. And we'll go over these numbers together. You know, I think it's a good learning thing for people that are just starting out and can see where this business can really make some money. You know, bulk is one of my favorite things. I love it. I sell it all the time, you know. But bulk makes massive margins, small order or small dollar value orders, whereas collections, you know, if I sell this whole collection, which I will because they're all higher value cards. Every card in this I think is above $18. I will sell every single one of these cards in time. It might not happen in a couple weeks. It might not happen in a month. Majority of these cards will sell in a couple weeks, and I'll turn that money around and go buy another collection, maybe even off the same guy because I know he wants to sell some more cards. So let's break it down, guys. So here's the collection. He sold it to me in this ETB. And he has everything in top loaders. He has some stuff in card savers. But this is the one card I kind of got burned on. So I bought this card off of him, which is it was $85 near mint. You know, it's a God of War EX, but you can already see it's creased. And then on the back, it's creased really bad and got a lot of wear on it. Okay. I didn't recognize this until I got home because I pulled out so many other cards from this collection. You know, if I just pull out a stack, you know, these are all near mint cards. Everything. You know, this is a sealed promo. You know, these are all near mint. Every card in here. So it's like when you buy a collection, in what I do is I go through the majority of the bigger cards. For some reason, I did not go through this one, you know. I reached out to him. I found a fake card as well. I'll pop a picture up because I don't have it anymore. I ripped it in half. I reached out to him. I found the fake card. It was a tag team. I think it's a Gardevoir and one of the evolutions. I can't remember which one it was. And I explained to him what had happened, and he was very understanding. He didn't know that it was fake. I explained to him how I found out that it was fake. You could just tell that the color was off, and even when I ripped it, I couldn't rip the card. It was a foil. It wasn't printed like Pokemon prints on their paper. And if you look up a picture of that card, the holographic was kind of like a diagonal holographic. This one was a vertical. The holographic was completely different. The card looked completely different from the original version. So I reached out to him, told him what was going on, told him the value that I'm owed, and we're planning to meet Saturday. I'm gonna pick some more cards off his collection. He's gonna bring them, hand them to me, and we'll go about our way. I will give him back this damaged card. I don't sell damaged cards. I sell like moderately played sometimes if I get one, but this being an $86 card, and that's what I paid for it because I thought it was near mint. I wasn't gonna. I didn't want to sell it, and I'm gonna give this card back to him. This card is not fake. It's just damaged. I did destroy the fake card though. My rule of thumb, typically, if I find a fake card, I don't do the deal. I already did this deal. I didn't find it until now. And honestly, I did a deal with this guy before, and everything went well. Really nice guy. I probably would have still did the deal, but I would have went through everything very in depth in the parking lot before I left. But that's all fixed. So here's the other thing I wanted to bring up. So I went through his collection, right? I'm sending cards off to be graded very soon. And I found a card from the original collection I got off of him and this one that I want to send out to grading. These cards here. This is a Charizard EX. He says this Piplup, Squirtle, Charmanders. These are all in really good shape. These should grade easily at a 10. He had this Eevee. The rest of these are mine. And then the other one was this Pikachu from Surging Sparks. This thing is in such good condition, So this is a risk that I'm going to take. I don't think that it's recommended, and the way that I did it kind of protected myself a little bit. So I had some cards that were set aside that were just duplicates for like a trade binder. So what I did was I took cards of equal value out of my personal collection and swapped them with these cards. That way, I'm not really losing any money with this collection, and then I'm putting more money into it, technically, when I get these back and I sell them for the business. I'm only doing that because I can't guarantee that these cards are going to come back at 10, These cards might not come back at 10, but if they do, like this Pikachu here, I think I paid 70% for this collection, but I think it was, I can't remember what the prices were. I'll pop a little thing up here on the screen for you guys real quick. And, I think it's going to be under $200 that I paid for the card. If I get it graded and it comes back at 10, this card's worth $1,000. I'm going to turn around and sell this card and more than triple my money. And same thing with this Eevee that has good value. These cards don't have a value yet, but I expect them to have decent value. Maybe not right away, but in the near future. This one has $150 for a PSA 10. So I paid like $15 for this card. So I'm taking the chance to send these cards off to be graded and hopefully increase my profit margin on these cards. I know that these cards are going to have to wait around a little bit just to see how things go, which is why I put equal value. I think it was $150 of cards I pulled out of the collection, of my personal collection, into this lot that are going on my store, and I will be selling them to get that money back. And in the future, when I get these back from PSA, or I might actually be doing tag. I do like tag stuff a little bit better, but I'm still trying to figure that out. This will be the first time I've ever done any kind of grading. But I'll get that stuff back, and I'm going to turn around and sell it, There's a few cards in here I'm sending out that are in my personal collection. This is actually, I forgot, this is from this collection as well. This is my personal. I want to get it graded. It should grade at 10. It's in really good shape. And then this I pulled the other day from Ascended Heroes. It's in perfect shape. I've even considered sending this off to Beckett. Those are going to stay in my personal collection. I am not selling those for the business. I just want to get them graded. And then I also just found these, and he sent these to me as well. These are in pretty good shape. I don't know if I'm going to open these and send these to get graded as well. I got to do a little bit more research, but so yeah, guys, this is what I do, you know. So when I buy these big collections, I go through them like this. I will go through, pull every one of these out of top loaders. I don't store cards in top loaders for my collection or for my inventory. You know, there's a Charmander from 151, another Gardevoir from Mega. So what I do now is I'll pull every card out of their top loader. I will then sort it. I don't alphabetize my like IRs and higher value cards. I just sort them. I list them through the old style with the inventory tab. And I just go through it set by set, get them all in my store. I reset my prices. Like I said, I go 30% above market for some things, 20 for the rest, $5 for 50 and up. And then I have like in my 5-row sorters here, I have like all my holographic cards, reverse holos, and like one 5-row BCW box. And in front of each set, I have a different, like I use red Sharpie for these. I will put like this one. This one will go in front of that. You know, anything Mega will go in front of that. That way when I pull orders, I know Mega, it's an ultra rare. I go right to that set, you know. So yeah, guys, this is what I'm gonna do. I just wanted to get this little video out just to kind of get you guys an idea of what I'm about to go do. I'm gonna definitely keep track of everything I sell from this set. Anything I sell from this set, I will keep track of it. And in a couple weeks, I'll give you guys the real numbers and what I made off of the set based off of the $2,500 that I've spent. You know, we'll keep track of it. And we'll see how long it takes for me to get my money back. So yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you got something from this video. If you have any questions, definitely comment down below. Also, down below will be the Proseller site link for you guys. I do sell cards below market. All of these cards will be on there tomorrow. If you want to buy any of them, check them all out. And then also below, I have affiliate links for like Amazon that does like all my shipping supplies. If you guys want to pick any of that stuff up, I really appreciate it. It helps me out a little bit. So definitely want to subscribe to the channel, guys. We got some big things coming. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and peace.